Welcome back everyone for another drawing course. This time we're going to start drawing a little more advanced. The first class you have heard about the magic of drawing. And drawing is simply very easy and so the more you draw, the more you have this confidence that you can draw better. So we're going to start warming up. We're going to start drawing this key and like I said, the more you're able to describe, the better your drawing gonna be. So here I'm going to draw this key, and it started out. I'm gonna speed this up very fast because this is an advanced drawing, and it's a rectangle, but the bottom is a little bit bigger, just a tiny bit larger than the top. It's a rectangle, like a trapezoid. So it's just like that. And don't worry about your mistakes because this is just practice to be better. Now, you want to turn this into a portfolio drawing, then you just need to add more work to it. Remember, it's a matter of learning. We are in the process of learning how to draw better. So it's not overnight, so we just practice drawing. The bottom part here is away from the light, so and it's a three-dimensional. It has a little dark shadow. Okay, so I just simply draw what I see, and we're gonna speed this up a little bit. This is smaller. Triangle would come like a trapezoid. So I described the trapezoid shape, and then the three-dimensional here. And the key, this one is a very simple key. It's just a very straight key, and in the end, it just curve a little bit. You describe that curve. So it's a very, very straightforward, easy key. hmm Now, the thing about what makes this key special is we have a circle here, the screw the box, and the shape of this key has like up and curve like a Nike looking, and it has four button, and we need to describe that four button: one, two, three, and the last one curve up a little bit. It's round taper like that, and then you go straight up. Now we're gonna draw the inside, the detail a little more, and it has like a lock shape. Okay, so this is where you know to lock your car, and this one is a lock but it's open, so with a hook, so you know that it's unlocked the car. And this one has a shape of a car. Okay, and it's shaded in, so it had two wheel, the back, and the top is just a line. So you see, there we go. And the last one is like a horn, and there's three line. You know what this means? This is the panic option. Okay, now in this middle of the key, there's a line going up halfway. So you're going up halfway now, and it going in, out, and out. So I'm going to describe that again. Out, in, out, in, out. There you go. So now you have the key, right? Now what about the small keys? The small key hang on to the big key with this metal ring, and you just draw that metal ring. Now some people said, well, I don't know how to draw that metal ring. Yes, you do. What did it look like? It's just a two curve. And now this curve here is a circle. This whole big ring that holding these three small key. Now some people said, well, I can't draw that circle perfectly. You don't need to. You just draw what you see. And how can you, the more you draw, the more easy it is. As you can see, I'm not even questioning my drawing. Why? Because I know this I can do better. And I know that it's a matter of time that I can be better as the more I draw. So this key shape here has like pentagon. So I describe that down, 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 right? And in here, the intricate of the key, this is when people start giving up hope in life. You know, you don't need to. What you just describe it. What do you describe? Like a stepping ladder. You curve in and you do one step, and the top part is just a straight, right? Just a straight. Now, what if you said, "Oh, this is way too long"? Don't worry. Then you cut short where it's supposed to be, and don't worry about the mistake, because there's no such thing as mistake. Because why? Because the more you keep on going and the more you just drawing, that means that it's a process of getting better. It's not a mistake, right? Just like a kid, if a kid falling, trying to walk, right? The baby trying to walk, and they keep falling, and if it just lie on the ground, and said, "I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna stand up," then the kid will never learn how to walk. But you see, the babies, they don't question. They just get right back up, and they just keep on walking. Whenever they're falling down, they just went right back up. What about us? When we draw, sometimes we come to the point where you say, "I don't know how to draw that shape." Well, start with the basic. Describe that. Like, for example, here, this key. This is not a perfect key, but I know that I can do better. If this is the first key, the other two key, I can draw a little bit better. And there's a small line going down to the middle, so I draw that. It's very light, right? And then it has some kind of word in the middle, filament. Okay, it has like a triangle, and it has filament. So like you can do the detail, because, like I said, you are drawing what you describe, right? And then now this big key had a small key, and the small ring has two of that. So again, I draw what I see. Now, two keys on this side, you see here. So I draw. You can draw the top or the bottom, either way. I'm going to start with the top one. Okay, again, another pentagon, right? And I can see that the edge of this key here, that's what give it a little three-dimensional. You draw that edge. I see that edge, I draw that edge. And this will come in. It will come in, right? But before it goes straight down, it have a one small step, just like you were taking a step on a ladder or a stair. One more step coming in. The back of the key is always straight, so that's easy. Now, what about, you said, "I don't know about this variation." You don't need to draw it perfectly, because nobody know what your key look like, right? But they know what a key is. It has some kind of in and out, right? So I draw the in, I draw the out, I draw the in, I draw the out, I draw the in, I draw the out, right? And then it had a three-dimensional look right there. And you said, "Links, you draw one line, then how did it come two line?" Don't ask me about it. I have magic. It's all in the air. Just kidding. This brush is split. So that's the reason why when I draw, it has those two lines. And that matches that perfectly, right? Underneath the key now, you continue with that line to give it that three-dimensional. Now, I'm not doing that intentionally. That's exactly what the picture is. So I draw what the picture, I draw what the object is. You see, very, very fun. Now it looks just like the key, right? And now this key over here, three triangle, but this key only have one big triangle in the middle, right? There we go. And then it has a rectangle box with nothing on it. Okay, maybe this is the key to life. It has nothing, you know. Life is a mystery. Okay, there you go. Now this small key is very easy. It had of a circle, and out here it, before it go, it bubble out like that. I don't know how you describe the shape, but every key, the back of it is straight, right? The back is straight, and this is a small key, so we make sure that it's smaller than that, right? And the bubble in out a little bit. Now we're gonna describe the shape. First it go out, and then straight, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, and then at the end it come out and it drop down a little sharper. Okay, so now we want to make this three-dimensional. So the back of this key here, you draw a little. You look at the shape, and it has this bottom part to come out there. So you draw what you see, and that will give it. And what make the key again? The shadow underneath, right? The shadow. I see the shadow, so I draw the shadow. Right? You see the shadow, you draw the shadow. And what it does, it enhances the drawing. It makes the drawing more three-dimensional. So now, and then the shadow of this. Now the shadow need to be softer than this. So because I've been drawing for a while, I know how to control the pressure of my pen. So I can make it like flurry effect, very soft, furry. And that's the advantage of this brush pen. I love this brush pen, and I will share with you where to get this and stuff when you attend a class and you ask a question, or I can share with you that. Okay, so here the key is ready, right? So basically I just describe what I see. So now that's just warming up. Okay, so now you say, what are we going to do next? Well, we're going to put the key on the side here, and we're going to draw this vase with some beautiful flower in front of me. You won't see it in my drawing, but you can see from the camera. Let me turn around. Okay, so now I'm going to try and draw as quickly as possible and stop yappity. Okay, now this is a heart shape, and it's elongate heart, right? It's elongate, and it's very pointy at the end. Very pointy, so I draw that point, right? And like I say, it's a shape of a heart, but it's a very long. Okay, so now up here, this part you won't be able to see, but you can see from my drawing, is that it curved like that, and it scoop out like that. There you go. So again, I draw what I see, and the vein goes straight from the middle. I draw that, and the way that the vein of this is different from the leaf is a little like that. It drop like that, it curve and it taper out. It very sharp, and it go slightly disappear as it go down. And then of course here, but the light here is in the dark. I draw in the dark, so not too clear there, but the stem go down this way, and then there's a small leaf here. Again, the heart, the way that curve in like a V shape. So I describe that V and the sharp, very sharp leaves, and taper at the end, very tiny. So this area, half of the heart is bigger than the other half, and it go in a little bit, out a little bit, and then at the end it form a very skinny thin drop, just like that. Okay, now the vein here, because it's under the big leaf, the small leaf under the big leaf, and it has a big shadow. Now you're gonna say, I don't know how to do the shadow. Don't worry, this shadow look like this. So I just draw what I see, right? You draw what you see. I see half the vein, I draw half the vein. I see half the vein, I draw half the vein, right? Draw what you describe, and the stem drop like this. So I draw that. Okay, now this big leaf come on top of the small leaves, and this is a very big leaves. This is the second biggest leaves, and it in, out, in, and it curved like that. Now don't worry if it go over the key. That's the beauty of layering. And the more that you continue drawing, you're going to build this into a masterpiece. And that's what most of my drawing is that it's a process drawing. And the more that you overlay them, you're creating this kind of layer, and it kind of like motivate you, like, oh, your drawing keep adding and adding, and then you're like excited. Oh, I'm excited, I want to draw more and more and more. I want to cover the whole picture. And as you draw, you're gonna find it's very interesting. As your drawing develop, you're gonna fall in love with your drawing, and you're gonna draw more and more and more. And that is the real magic of drawing. It's not about someone who is talented in drawing, because you know someone develop the skill is not overnight. So that's what I always share. Whether you learn a new language or you're cooking, like I've been cooking for a while, and it's always the more you cook, the more you develop your taste bud, and it's just like that. And just like let's say someone who practice playing basketball or piano, right? They keep doing it and doing and doing it, and and one day, like for now, I don't have to think anymore as I draw, and I just draw what I see, and that's the beauty of it. And you see, I didn't describe too much because I started yapping. When I start yappity yappity, I start to, in the moment. I'm in the what do you call it? In the zone. When I draw, I'm just in the zone. And thank you for stopping by and drawing with me today. As you know, my voice is not as excited as it used to be, but we can make it excited. Okay, you can see my drawing start to develop a little bit, but don't worry. Like you say, oh, this shape has nothing like that leaves. Don't worry about it. Just keep on going, because the more that you draw this flower pot, the more it comes to life. Okay, and there's this leaves over here. It comes sharp like that, and it had one bubbly thing curving that how the leaves sometimes they roll, the leaves start rolling around, and it's tricky. So you draw what you see that, for example, like this leaf, it'll wrap around, it'll roll and spin back like that, right? And this leaf here curve up, up, and over. Okay, now I'm gonna run to the key, but I want the key to show, so I'm gonna go under the key, like right, like the Little Mermaid under the sea. I'm just kidding, I can't sing. The last time I sing, we have to evacuate the cafe because I was working the cafe. Everyone had to make a living, and I start to sing, and you know what happened? That's the end of the story. The moment I look over, everyone just disappeared. And I said, "What's going on?" I feel offended, but don't worry. You just live move on. Okay, so you can see this, it's very easy, right? One more leaves. Now even if you cut this leaf off, nobody would know. Yeah, nobody would know. So have confidence in drawing. That's the key. Just keep on drawing, because for example, someone who look at your drawing and says, oh, it look good, they didn't know if you miss a leaves, or what is that look like. It doesn't matter. What really matter is that you give it some time to practice. You give it some time to continue drawing. And you see, some people might look at this pot and they say, it's too much. I don't know how to draw. But as you see, I describe this. I describe this as a long, skinny heart. And I describe it that as it go out, it taper very thin at the end. And I describe this as it curve, like in and out like that, like leaves. At first it's not gonna be perfect, but like I said, the more you draw, the better it gets. And here is the vase, or the vase, whatever you call it. I like to be more romantic. Perhaps I like to be more um, expertise, I guess. So it's a vase, but you can call whatever you want to call. But that's the beauty of drawing, because it's not about the language, it's about the way of seeing. So again, it's curved like that, and the soil, right? The soil is very rough, rough. I don't know how to describe this soil, but I know it's very, very rough, and half of this one completely in the darkness, right? Completely in the darkness. So I describe that, and it roughly like a mountain, like this, rough. It's very, very rough, just like life, rough. But not everybody life is rough. Some people are having fun, like us. Right? We're drawing. We have a lot of fun drawing. This vase has like a wave like that, so I just copy that. Okay, so now you don't see the bottom. That's fun. Now we go to the next one. Okay, this one you can see from the picture. Oh, it's a lot of leaves. It's a lot of leaf and it intimidating. But don't let that scare you. Well, it scared me. I'm gonna go because the reason why I'm not drawing that because it's not because I'm scared of that, because this picture lacks some kind of beauty, some kind of flower, right? So I'm gonna draw this flower instead. It's harder than these leaves because we have too many leaves. Now we're gonna go into flower, and you're gonna look at this camellia, and you said, "Oh God, this is hard. There's so many intricacy." Okay, intricacy, and you don't know how to convey that intricacy. Okay, we're gonna start by there's leaves and flower. If we look at both leaf and flower, we're gonna run out the door. We said I don't know how to draw, so we're gonna look at the flower first. We're gonna focus on the flower. We just said this flower is almost a perfect shape of a circle. Okay, let's draw that circle. Okay, now at the bottom here, you're gonna see it cut in a little bit. Okay, and you're gonna say, "Oh, Links, you destroyed the drawing." No, we're not destroying anybody. We are learn to narrow in. We first see the universal shape. The universal shape is what help us to kind of like think of it when you're drawing. Think of it like a camera. You are out of focus and you start zooming in to your subject. So I'm start zooming in. I'm start describing. I'm gonna attack it. Right. Right now the flower is too intimidating, so I'm gonna start with the leaves on top of the flower. It's simple, right? It's just like an I can say that it's like an oval shape. It's like oval shape with a very taper at the end. So oval shape, right? Oval shape, and it very taper in a very long tail, like a dragon tail. Dragon tail, dragon. Just kidding, I can't sing. Sorry for that. This is drawing class, not learn how to be a vocalist. And now the other leaves is behind that leaves, and it's the same, very taper in at the end, and it come down like that leaves. And now you can see this leaf is like a chainsaw, very very rough edge, right? Rough, 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 rough. So you just describe when you see rough, 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 rough. So I just draw exactly like that. And over here, you see this leaves here. I can see the bottom of the leaves here, just a little bit. So I draw a little bit. It come like this, it come like that, it taper like that, right? So now you can make a poem. You can sing along. Sing along. Okay, so yeah, I need to stop singing because I else, we are gonna be turn this into a singing class. We don't want that, right? So now the stem, and the big leaves over here, big leaves here, taper at the end, big. Now I make a big boo boo, right? Because it come too much, it need to go out some more. So just correct yourself, right? Just correct yourself, because this drawing is a process. When you finish the whole thing, people will say, "Oh, that's a beautiful drawing." They don't look at that little mistake, right? That little mistake is not a mistake. It's a stepping stone, right? Stepping stone. So one more leaf on the top here. So we can draw that leaves, we can draw that. And this leaves here curve out and in like that. And then underneath that, you know how leaves are. They just fold, they just turn, they just twist. So the more you're able to describe that turn and twist, the more you're able to draw. Now let's get back to the flower. So we hit all of the thing except the flower, right? Because it's intimidating. Don't let that scare you. Okay, so now I'm gonna find something that I noticed. I noticed that it started like a tornado. Start from the point in the middle and it started curving like a tornado, like a spiral. So I describe that. It curving out like a spiral. It curving out like a spiral. Right? It curving out like a spiral. Okay. Well, my time on the Zoom said I'm running out of time, so I'm going to draw this as I see here very quickly, and so that you can kind of get an idea. And you can see this, how this beautiful camellia, this is one of my favorite flower. It's only bloom in the winter, can you believe it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Curve that, and here, and then some shade. Mm-hmm. Some very dark underneath the petal. Now you're gonna say, well, Lynx, I see that it's nothing similar to that flower. I see a bunch of mess. Don't worry, this is just the beginning, right? Don't worry, just continue drawing. And then, well, what can I say? What can I say? How's that? Someone who is looking at this for the first time, they don't see that tornado, they don't see that confusion. They said, that's a beautiful flowers. And plus, you have so many things over here to keep them attention away from this beautiful camellia. But once you start putting some color, they're gonna say, it is the most beautiful thing they've ever seen. Okay, well, let's continue with the next session. Okay, thank you. Sorry, Zoom is running out of time, so I can't record too long.